Artists are incredibly sensitive people. And so, what can tend to happen if we're not actively creating, if we're not taking all of our sensitivity and allowing it to flow through us into something else, it gets stuck on the inside. If we're meeting for the first time, hi, I'm Shamini. I'm an artist, mentor, and healer for Awakening Hearts and Conscious Creatives. If that sounds like you, I am so happy you're here. It turns into anxiety, it turns into depression, it turns into addictions. It is so destructive because it is meant to flow. Creativity, inspiration is meant to flow. It's something that comes through us and that we transform into something else. But often in the society that we live in, we don't prioritize art, we don't prioritize creativity, and artists find themselves stuck in positions and in places where they don't get to use their innate gifts and what they actually came here to do in this lifetime. So if that resonates, I just want to invite you to figure out how you can bring creativity into your life. And that doesn't mean that you have to quit your job and run off to the hills and lock yourself in a studio and learn ceramics. That means that you need to incorporate a creative way of being into your life. So that means not being stuck in your head, consciously dropping into your heart and living from that place, because your heart is the creative part of you. It's the part of you that will sense and feel and be able to bring you a more fulfilling way of living. If you're stuck in your head, you're going to stop yourself. You're going to doubt. You're going to overthink everything. There needs to be a sense of freedom and flow and lack we can't be stuck in judgment if we're trying to create. We can't judge ourselves. We can't judge the process. We have to be playful. We have to be like children. And as we grow up in a Western world, we become, very serious. And we think that being childish is somehow immature or silly or unworthy of respect in some way. It's very damaging how we grow up in this world and we suppress that inner child. So when I work with clients, I actively work on inner child healing as one of the first things, because if you can't connect to your inner child, you can't access your playfulness and you can't access your full creativity, because you're judging yourself, you're judging the process, and you're not allowing it to flow. So the very first thing that you have to do is learn to get out of your head, but you also need to heal that relationship with your inner child, because it's through play that we innovate and that we create and that we release energy from our body. If you actually look at kids and the way that they express themselves, it is so incredibly healing. They know how to let loose and how to get over things. It's when we stop them from expressing themselves, when we stop them from expressing their emotions, that stuff gets stuck. And then it gets so stuck that they stop, they forget how to play. So we need to reverse engineer that process. And it starts with inner child healing, releasing judgment, and getting the fuck out of your head. So how do we live a creative life? We need to bring creativity into the little things that we do on a daily basis, the way we dress, the way we get to our workplace. And I know that that sounds like, just be like, well, I get in my car and I drive there. But how are you doing that? What is your process? Are you listening to music? Are you enjoying the ride? Or are you just like getting there, getting stuck in traffic and staying stuck in your head? There are so many different ways that we can utilize our time and our energy. I remember when I was commuting into the city for work, I would intentionally have a couple of days where I would leave earlier and I would take the coast road. And it did take longer in my mind, but when I actually looked at the numbers, when I timed myself from leaving home, going in traffic, it was a shorter route, but it took longer because there was more traffic. When I took the coast road, it took the same amount of time, but it was an epic drive and I wasn't stuck in traffic. I was actually like cruising along the coast. And that was really interesting for me to notice. There were some days where it would take maybe 5 minutes longer because I would get to a point where there was traffic. But I would arrive at work in such a beautiful, relaxed, and inspired state that it was so much better than being stuck in traffic. If you don't have the choice between the inner city route and the coastal route, not everyone has that luxury of living in beautiful Australia. But if you don't have that choice, you can listen to something inspiring. You can listen to your favorite songs. You can create a particular playlist and get into your body while you are in the car. Like, I remember many times being in traffic and seeing someone who was dancing to their favorite tune stuck in traffic, but they were having the time of their life, right? That could be you. And we don't do these things because we're like, oh my God, I can't do that. Like, everybody's here, everybody's watching. But you know what? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Everybody's stuck inside their own head, not inside of yours. So if you don't set yourself free from that little prison there, your life's probably not going to be as fulfilling and as fun as it can be. There are other little ways that we can be creative in our lives. The way that we dress, we can choose to use color. We can choose to do our hair in a particular way. These are all creative ways of being. One of the tasks that I remember giving to one of my clients years ago was to prepare her food. She was very creative. She loved color. And she prepared food in a way that she would create a little piece of art. She would, cut up things and place them on her plate. Like, we've all seen these platters that are just gorgeous. Well, one of the exercises I gave her to do was to make that part of her daily routine. And it only takes, 3-4 minutes. And some people say, well, I don't have that kind of time. Yes, you do. You spend it scrolling on your phone or doing other things that are completely useless to your time and to your energy. This is a way that you can harness positive energy in your life. Create some art and then eat it, because yes, you are worthy of making a beautiful platter, even if it's only for your own enjoyment. I think we get so caught up and stuck in this mentality that something's only worthy if it's shown online, or if other people like it, or if we do it for other people. But what if we change that mindset and we honored the fact that we are worthy of beauty, that we are worthy of our own time? And sometimes we can create things that have no other purpose than to be enjoyable in the process or in the outcome for ourselves. We matter. And I think that when we start bringing these tiny little things into our way of being and we weave them into our way of life, it makes a difference because we show up differently. I know for a fact when I see people walking down the street, I can see those who are actually enjoying their life experience and those who are not. You can see people who are not. It feels like they're carrying like a heavy weight on their shoulders. They're walking around and they're looking for things to be upset about. They're, in that level of kind of like somewhere between bitterness and frustration on a constant basis. And it doesn't have to be that way. But here's the thing, these people will walk around thinking that the outside world has to change in order for them to feel better, rather than doing the things that will make them feel better and notice that the outside world responds to their energy. We've all experienced this. If you have a workplace where someone arrives and they're having a great day and they feel fun, they feel like they want to have a chat, they connect, and it brightens our day a little bit. You can be having a really crap day. You bump into someone who's having a great day and they share a little bit of that energy with you, and you walk away feeling a little less heavy. That's a beautiful gift that we have as human beings that we can do for one another. Just through our energy, we can transform a space. We can transform a dynamic of a situation. We can transform a meeting through our own energy. Well, what if you did that? What if you became that in your whole life? That is what creatives have the ability to do, because we have the ability to live from the heart and to bring energy through us to transmute it and to make it into something else. So that is a responsibility, and there are things that we need to learn to manage and understand and cleanse our energy so that we can maintain that brightness and we can share that brightness to the world around us. But that is something that I think it's one of those things that we can do it because we know that it will benefit the outside world, or we can do it because we know that it makes us happy. But ultimately, when that becomes a way of being and it's second nature, it doesn't matter why we're doing it. It's just who we are being, and it makes the world a better place. I hope that you can take one little piece of that and bring it into your life, whether it is today, this week, or ongoing. Just start with one thing and create some consistency. If the only consistency is the fact that you try to find little pockets of time and moments that you can do creatively and that you can harness that beautiful energy that you have to share, if only for your own enjoyment, then that, my friend, will transform your life and the people around you. So if at this stage you're thinking, yes, I want to do that, I want to live more creatively, I want to be more present, I want to actually live a more fulfilling life, it all starts within, and it starts with learning how to drop out of your head and come into your heart in the first place. If you do want some support in creating that consistency and having the routines, having the practices that will help you do that in the most efficient way that I know how to teach, then I have a course for that. It's called Calm and Connected. This course is about helping you get out of your head and into your heart and really live intentionally and mindfully on a daily basis, being really present and starting to become aware of the patterns that are playing out in your life that are not serving you and that you may be completely unconscious to. We generally are when we start out. We just are the way that we are. We think that it's our identity, it's our personality, and then we start to realize, actually, I'm just playing out a pattern and I can change that. So that requires a certain amount of awareness. And this course, Calm and Connected, is about bringing you the awareness, the tools and the practices to get to that next level so that you can start becoming the creator of your life rather than living by default. So if that resonates, if that sounds like something that would benefit you, this is a really, it's a very affordable course. And it's some of the content that absolutely transformed my life and that I would love to share with you so that you can go and do your thing in your way and be the person that you were always meant to be. So go and check out the links below if that resonates. This channel is all about getting out of your own way so that you can live your best life as a creative human. If you enjoyed this video, I would love you to like, comment, maybe send to a friend who you think would benefit from this. And if it resonates, you may like to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any of the other free content I share around here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Mwah.
If you're ready to connect to your true self, amplify your unique creative voice, and gain unshakable confidence to step into the life that you came here to live, you're in the right place. Welcome.